right. Welcome everyone to my first review, episode review. Well, really series review, I should say. It was so bad that I had to come on here and do my first actual review. So the show that I want to review is A Devil May Cry. I'm a big Devil May Cry fan. It's on Netflix. Now, mind you, this isn't the first Devil May Cry show. This is, I believe, the second. There's an anime for Devil May Cry already, and I guess Netflix felt that they wanted to make their own version, which I was hyped for, but unfortunately, it was a big letdown. Very, very big letdown. So it was so bad that I was like, I gotta say something about this. Now I see that there are mixed opinions, and I didn't check out if there's an official rating for it yet, because I just didn't. I was like so flabbergasted that I was just like, I don't even want to be bothered. I'm just gonna talk about it, and then later on I'll check out the official review. But I have seen some people on Twitter, that's why I say it's mixed. So yeah, I feel like you have the real hardcore fans, or at least somewhat of a fan that actually have played the games, that know about the lore to the extent. I'm not gonna say that I'm 100% sure on all the lore of Devil May Cry, because I think my first game, I know my first game started with Devil May Cry 3, and I never went back to 2 or 1 because I heard that they were just kind of okay, and that Devil May Cry 3 was like kind of the best one. So I started there, and then from there I played every one of the Devil May Cries except for DMC, which is another iteration of Dante that a lot of people weren't really fond of. So yeah, let's talk about the show. So what, at first I didn't really mind the show. Episode 1 seems like they got this young version of Dante, which I'm okay with. Dante doesn't have to be super old, or and he's old in general, because he's a half breed, so he's not what he appears to be, but it seems like they're going for a younger version of Dante. Fine. What and then at first, like, some of the jokes landed flat, but then he had a few in there where I was kind of cracking up, and I was like, okay, this seems like it's on the right track. Dante that's basically his personality. Like, he's deadly, but he's also, funny, and cool, doing cool moves at the same time. So I'm like, okay, great, it's on the right track. I think it was when you get, so I'm not gonna like do too many spoilers, because just in case you want to watch it, but at the same time there's gonna be there's gonna be spoilers. So it's like, I'm not gonna go episode by episode like some of these like really like detailed walkthroughs. I'm just gonna tell you some of the things that I didn't like about it, and probably some of the things that I like. There, at this point, there's more dislikes than likes. So if I feel like it's spoilerish, I'll let you know. But I'm not going to give you a walkthrough of each episode. Either way, the beginning starts out, gives you an introduction of him. Some of the jokes fall flat, some of the jokes land. That's the first episode. Second episode, kind of giving you more lore into how the world is. I believe we are in New York City. You should correct me if I'm wrong. And once again, we're getting used to the villain. We're getting used to who Dante is, and who the government is, and who is working for the government, etc., etc. I believe it's where episode 3-ish is when all shit hit the fan, and I like wanted to turn the I wanted to turn the show off. So uh Mary, and I actually kind of just forgot because yeah, her name is Lady. I like totally forgot. But either way, right off the bat, they're doing a whole different interpretation of Mary or Lady. Lady, when introduced, if I remember, she, at least for me, she was introduced into Devil May Cry 5. I mean, not 5, 3. And like her whole outfit is different. Now, I get it. You don't want her in the like the schoolgirl skirt with the with the shirt, and like I get it. If you want to do a different interpretation on her, that's fine. But either way, she's a strong female character. She usually runs around with different types of guns, like a bazooka, pistol, whatever. But yeah, she's fought with Dante, but she's never, to my knowledge, won a battle with Dante. So that's where they lost me at. When she actually beat Dante in the show is where I wanted to turn off the video, because I'm like, there's no way that Lady, who is a regular human, she's a demon hunter, but she's a regular human, is going to go toe to toe with Dante. Now, granted, you could say, oh, like she tricked him and that's why she won. No, like, no. So that's basically, I feel like they're trying to play on that, like, oh, trying to say that Dante was like, she's trying to say that, oh, in one way or other, that demons are kind of stupid in a way, and that she's trying to say that Dante falls into that range where he's kind of stupid, and that she basically outsmarted him. But to me, that's not what the battle kind of felt like. It kind of felt like they were trying to say that the way that they made it seem was like she almost was like stronger than him. And this kind of theme goes out through the whole anime. So that's why I feel like I can't get down with this anime, because they like literally disrespected Dante 100% throughout the entire anime. And I feel like people that like this anime, the people that's giving it like 8 out of 10s and shit, didn't never play one Devil May Cry game, or they just hate the character, because there are some people that don't like Dante because they feel like he is too cocky, and that he basically wins every battle or whatever, blah blah. So this probably was right up their alley. Like, okay, great, we nerfed him finally. This is what we wanted to see. No, like, don't make a show about this character then, because that's the whole premise of this character: the cockiness, the jokes, the ability. Like, he's really strong. And don't get me wrong, like, it's not like he could go toe to toe with any demon. That's the whole point. That even though he's a half breed, he could go toe to toe with any demon. So it's like, when you see him walking around here and getting his ass whooped by every person in the damn universe, you're looking at this like, well, what show is this? What show is this? This is not Devil May Cry. I don't know what this is. At this point, so this is at the point in the anime, episode 3, where this becomes Mary May Cry or Lady May Cry. Like, if you just wanted to make a anime about Lady, then that's what you should have just did. Like, you shouldn't have involved Dante in it, because that's where I feel like this show became. And I saw like one Twitter post saying like, oh, you know, basically Lady thinks that she's him. Yeah, that's basically it. Like, they made it seem like the show was about Lady. Like, the show is it's supposed to be about Dante. But Lady is the star of the show, really. Now, the reason why I think also, I didn't really see that many on my search on Twitter, but I saw people saying that, you know, complaining that, I guess people are saying that it's woke. Yeah, that's why people are complaining that it's woke. So it's like, back then, and still to a same point, I'm happy to see strong female protagonists. That's what was cool about Devil May Cry. Like, even though you have a lot of strong male protagonists, you also have strong female protagonists. But that doesn't mean that they now become the star of the show, because the game is not Lady May Cry or Trish May Cry. It's Devil May Cry, and the lead characters is Dante. So that already was off-putting to me, that he would get captured and then like basically set up. This is spoilers, basically. He basically gets captured, and she sets him up to like have some like thing where she shoots in his neck, where like if he goes too far, then it explodes or whatever, so he can't get away. So now he's in like this truck, and I think it's like episode 4 now we're at. He's in this truck now, and he's being taken away with his friend, and like, you know, they gotta like get out. And what was it, the airplane? I think either it's an airplane. I think it's an airplane. Yeah, they're in an airplane with like another demon, and I forget the name, but it's like two sword. I know exactly, like, so like the one thing I will give them credit is that I remember most of the demons that he fought in this, because they're in Devil May Cry 3 or Devil May Cry 4. Some might be from others, but I know for sure 2 of them that I've seen are in Devil May Cry 3 and Devil May Cry 4. I don't remember the names. And I'm not going to look them up, because I said that, you know, it's kind of light on spoilers. If I was going to give you the whole walk down, I would look them up. But either way, one of the demons are on the plane with them, and they're talking to them. They have 2 different swords. That's all I'm going to say. Well, one of them has a sword, and the other one I think is fists. Yeah. So if you know the series, and you know which one I'm talking about. So that demon is fighting him. So he takes out one of the demons. Eventually, he manages to like I might be skipping around, because I'm like so like freaking flabbergasted of how weak they tried to make his character. That's what's like throwing me for a loop. Like, I know there's one sequence where, no, I was right the first time. One sequence where he's in the truck, and they're like, he's locked up. He can't get out the chains from like, like, this is so laughable. Like, I can't even like keep a straight face saying this. Like, he's locked up in some chains and can't get out. So like all the and then like the main villain shows up and starts wrecking havoc all over her team, like Lady's team, like slaughters half a Lady's team and shit. And he's still in the chains, and she's fighting like 4 different, like, this is how ridiculous this is. Like, Lady is fighting 4 different demons with pistols. Like, she don't even have her rocket launcher. She doesn't even have the arsenal that she had in Devil May Cry 3. She's literally fighting them with pistols, but because the pistols have like this specific like demon serum they made, you know, it's supposed to be super deadly, but then they figure out that, oh, the serum doesn't really work on these type of demons, because, you know, they're type 4 demons, so we can't kill. Like, bro. So what really made me mad was like, okay, so you're telling me, because in order for Dante to get captured, like he couldn't beat Lady. So she was taking him. She captured him because they sent in a whole bunch of mercenaries to try to get him, and they couldn't get. He didn't kill them because they were humans. So he's actually nice. Didn't kill them. He just knocked them out or whatever. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna go and get him because I'm a professional demon hunter and I'm the best, right? Whatever. Flat out lie. She shouldn't have been able to do that. But okay, I digress. She goes in. She does her thing. Gets him, puts him in the handcuffs, blah, blah. They're on their way to take him in, and then they get interrupted by the villain, which then now sends out his troops. So you're telling me that her troops, she's a leader, and her troops are supposed to be some of the best. They get annihilated by the the villain, and she is like struggling against like the other demons that are surrounding her. So you're telling me she was good enough to take out Dante, but she's not good enough to, she would have got owned. She would have died if this battle continued. Like the villain basically got what he wanted and basically told them to fall back. So that's why she was able to escape that battle. So that's irritation number 2, because I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that these demons are all stronger than Dante? There's no way. So I'm like, okay, fine, no problem. Moving on. So I think after that, if I remember correctly, either way, at some point we get into a plane where Dante gets captured, right, by the demons. So he's on the plane. He's still, locked up. Eventually he gets out, and then he's like struggling his ass off. But finally he beats one of the brothers of the demon set. And then now the other guy's mad. And so, or the other demon, I should say. And so he basically destroys the plane or whatever. So now he's got to go and save everybody. But the thing that really pissed me off about that segment, and this is something that they continue to do throughout the entire show, which I was just like, bruh, who wrote this show? So, but to beat one of the brothers, because that's what I'm just going to call him for now, he needs to go into devil trigger mode. So basically, for some reason, I don't even think it's really clarified. Maybe it was, but I just checked out. The main villain wants him to go get stronger for some reason. That was the original thought process, but I think overall, in the end, that really wasn't the case. So the story's all over the place. But either way, he goes into devil. I think it's about his second time. Yeah, because the first time he tried to go, he almost went into devil trigger mode. He still had the chip in his body. So when he went too far, it blew up. So half of his face got exploded. But since he's half-breed, he took a blow, and it knocked him out for a little bit. And that's how the main villain captured him to get him in the plane. But his face re-healed. So as he's on the plane and re-healing and stuff and still chained up, finally gets out of chains. He beats one of the brothers by going into devil trigger mode. And that's my problem number 3. Dante doesn't need devil trigger mode to beat any demon. Like, not to that extent. Like, the way that they made it is like it's his only, like he's only going to be able to beat them unless he goes into that mode. That's not true. That's not facts. That is 100% lies. That's something they made up for the there's no demon that's on their level. Like, there's no one other than Virgil that he would need to go into devil trigger mode specifically to actually beat. So that was my big gripe number 3. I was just like, you gotta be effing kidding me. Like, if he was like doing it normal and then he like decided like for funsies he wanted to go to devil trigger mode, or he needed a little bit more damage and he's like, let me just push it a little bit, or let me be fancy, like, I could see it. But it was like he was struggling his ass off, and then he went into devil trigger mode, and then now he won. So the same thing when he finally beat one of the brothers, and then the other brother got mad and blew up the plane, and then he had to go and save everybody. Then going into devil trigger mode, that makes sense to me. That's a great use of devil trigger mode, because he needed the wings in order to be able to capture everybody. He doesn't need devil trigger mode to just beat regular freaking demons. Like, you're insane. Whoever wrote this is insane. Like, so that was a major gripe number 3. Major gripe number 4. Guys, why were we using Nero's song, Devil Trigger? I seen some people online talking about, that song makes sense because he's going into devil trigger mode. No, it is Nero's song. It is Nero's song. It is not Dante's song. Dante and Nero, like Dante has a whole what 4 games of songs that you could have picked from, and you chose Nero's song. Like what? From Devil May Cry 5? Are you insane? Are you insane? Yes, you are insane. Like, he doesn't even, Dante's in Devil May Cry 5 and it's like near the end. So, my point is though, is like that song is specifically for Nero. So, I don't know why they chose that song. And then and Devil May Cry has some of the best music in video games. The Devil May Cry series has some of the best music in video games. So, just flabbergasted. So, yeah, so that's big gripe number 4. They used that song there, which I was just like, you gotta be effing kidding me. So, either way, more gripes come down. Overall, it's like what I didn't like to add to sum this all up is that 1, they made Dante too weak. You might say like, oh, they're growing him and that and that and that. Dante, you could have had battles that show that he's struggling. I'm not saying that he has to, like, he should be able, it's hard to explain because you don't want to say like, oh, he should be God tier, but technically he is like a top tier character. He should not be struggling against baseline demons. And then they're trying to say that they're not baseline demons, but there isn't any demon that is more powerful than him to that extent. The only one that's supposed to be on par with him really is Virgil. And yes, you fight strong demons. I'm not saying that they should be weak. There's strong demons in the game. I'm just saying that he could beat them as baseline Dante. He doesn't need Devil Trigger to beat them. And so that's where they lose me. And then it's like, you're making it every time you're making it so like, for instance, the second brother, to give you a perfect example, he's fighting with the second brother after he saves everyone from the plane incident. And, they go into like the sky and start fighting, right? Then eventually they get into some apartment and he's struggling with the second brother. And then eventually like Lady comes in and like shoots him or something like that with one of the bullets that's supposed to kill the demons. So you're telling me that Lady needed to come in and save him? Like, are you serious? Like, like, are you really serious? First of all, if I really think about it, that's not even supposed to work because they're not even following their own lore in this series. Like at the beginning when she was using the bullets, they were saying that they were too strong for the bullets. So how magically now the bullets start working? But fine, if we go through that, once again, he lost his Devil Trigger powers because I guess the time limit ran out because there is a time limit in the game on Devil Trigger. You can't just infinitely use it. So they're saying like, oh, the time limit ran out. So now he can't even fight toe to toe with the other demon. Like, get the hell up out of here. Get the hell up out of here. Then Lady needs to come in and save him. And then like every time, so after that, that's the continuing theme. Like Lady is the reason why, he was managed to beat the villain. Lady, then at the end, even at the freaking end, she gets the other upper hand on him and he manages to get captured. So like at the end of the show, he's not even free anymore. He's like captured by the government and shit. I'm like, yo, y'all are insane. Y'all need to go to jail for writing this. Like, y'all need to go to jail for writing this. It's horrible. And some people are like, oh, well, is that what you complain about? They wanted to do another story. Write your own story then. Don't take lore. Don't take a story that already has a lore behind it and then try to change it to something that's utterly ridiculous. You want to make it the Lady Chronicles instead of actually following the lore that you have. Like, that doesn't make any sense. what would have made sense to me, and I was saying this when I was annoyed, if they had brought in Trish, and allowed her to be the one that has managed to capture Dante, I would have had no problem with it, because Trish is an actual demon. She's a half breed like him, if I understand correctly. So that would have made sense to me, because she actually could go toe to toe with Dante. Lady cannot. You just made up some shit. So like for me, they would have been better off having Trish, but I feel like the reason why they didn't want to do that is because in the Japanese version, like the Japanese anime, Trish is a main character too of that. So they probably didn't want to like kind of feel like they redid the same thing, but they could have did a spin on that where, you know, they're more at odds, because at the beginning they are at odds. They're not. They kind of met each other and they're fighting. So that would have made more sense to me, because she could be able to get the upper hand on Dante and have the strength and stuff to go toe to toe with him. Lady cannot. I don't care what type of toys she had. So it's like throughout the whole series, it's like a theme of Lady being the dominating character that magically gets the upper hand over everybody and everything, while Dante's sitting there getting his ass handed to him, and then only be able to domineer over the other demons by using Devil Trigger. Like, unless it's like some really, really low grade demon. That is not factual. That is not real Dante. That is not Devil May Cry. I don't care what infancy he's in his demon stage. Also, like, making him not know about his lineage too doesn't really set well with me. I feel like he would have known, and there's never been a time where it's like he doesn't know who he is. So I don't really like that take either. So overall, I give this show a 2 out of 10. I would have gave it a 0, to be quite honest. But since I did get some laughs out of it, because there are some things that are funny and that I appreciate about the what they did with like his jokes and stuff like that. But overall, the lore and how they approached his character and how they approached Lady, I feel like they destroyed Lady. So I saw a lot of other people complain. I thought it was just me. But like a lot of people were complaining about how much she cursed. Like, Lady doesn't curse like that. Lady doesn't curse like that. She's cursing every 5 fucking seconds. Like, come on. Like, that's not Lady. That's not Lady. Like, if that's the character, I understand that. That's fine. But Lady as a character doesn't talk like that. So it's kind of like they assassinated her character. And I feel like it's okay for characters like Trish and Lady to be feminine and still be strong characters. And that's where I feel like people are getting this idea of wokeness, because I feel like a lot of the characters that they're trying to bring up as strong female characters, they're trying to strip away their feminine side. And it's like, you don't have to strip away, or you shouldn't have to feel like you have to strip away all the feminine side of the character in order for them to be strong. So yeah, and that's why I feel like they did with Lady. That's why they like making her curse every 5 seconds, and then like I'm okay if she doesn't wear the skirt, you know. I like both outfits. I like the skirt and I like the outfit that she had on the show. I don't have a problem with it, the full suit. I just think that as a character they destroyed her, because that's not how she is. Yeah, she doesn't talk like that. And one, she's not him. She's not the main character. She's strong, but Dante is the main character. Dante is stronger than her, and if he wanted to, he could sit her down at any second. He's not going to be sitting there getting knocked out or saved by her every 5 seconds. I can see if you have a moment where, you know, she might outsmart someone or like help him out. That's why he had Trish and Lady and other, you know, and even sometimes with Virgil having to come in. I'm not saying that there's not times where he needs help It's just that the way that it's done, or if it's done every time, it kind of undermines who Dante is, which he and try to like make him like he's a weak character. So yeah. Either way, 2 out of 10. Would I recommend this show? No, I would not recommend you watch this show. If you've never played the games, I'll say this: if you've never played the games, then I would say go right ahead. Go right ahead, watch the show. But just with the caveat that this is nothing like the real lore for the game, and Dante is not like that. Lady is not like that. But if you're an actual Devil May Cry fan, then I would suggest that you skip this because you're gonna be mad. But anyways, that is my 2 cents on this. I just had to get on here and talk a little bit about this and rant about this because this was a doozy. Yeah, not a good job. Not a good job, Netflix. And I'm not sure why. I love you, Capcom, but I'm not sure why you put your logo on this. I don't know why you co-signed this, but yeah, I can't agree with this show. Not a good look. All right, well, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review, and yeah, I will see you next time. Bye.